Yo, what is up, my dudes? I'm back with another video. This time, I'm going to be doing the final chapter of my Spirits Torture series. And this chapter, I put a lot of soul and passion into. It had, it's actually versus Dark Weskot. Now, this version of Weskot is a lot, harder. He has like this dark power that he can send to all of his minions / wizards, and they get like more defense, more speed, more attack, and all that. It's like a Balatone Formula X from Bowser Jr.'s Journey. If that rings a bell, that's basically what he basically gave them, in a sense. Basically, because they had the same dark aura and all that stuff. So eventually they all try to get to Weskot, and he summons his minions / wizards with the dark power coursing through them, and they have to fight them. Basically all of them start to fight, and it's just wave after wave of minions. Like Slade's fighting, Shido's fighting, Nia, Nibble, Cole's fighting, Hamana, Tenka, Kurumi, etc. basically. Eventually they get to Weskot, and he summons this like dark wave attack that knocks all of them out and sends them into their own worst nightmare. Now, this is where the soul and passion comes into. Normally, most, like, games and stuff only really go in shows and stuff, only really go into one of the characters' specific nightmare and stuff. Besides, like, some shows, like Winx Club actually goes into all of them, which is a very rare thing to do. So I didn't want to go into that trap. I actually was like, okay, well, I know there are going to be some people asking me, well, what was Nia's, what was Tenka's worst nightmare? Mana, Slade, Origami, Nibical, etc. So I didn't just go into Shido's worst nightmare. I went into Slade's, Nia's, Nibble, Cole's, etc. basically. Now, Mana's, or her Shido's, I'm going into Shido's first. Shido's was him just losing the final battle, and all of his friends were just dead. Basically, Nia's, Nia's was her just being this dark void, not being able to get to Slade, which is very, it was very hard for her, because she wanted to be with Slade. Slade was really unique and really interesting. I actually had him see Nia in the Lake of Fire. I'm not kidding. And she was warning him, Slade, don't come here. If you come here, there's no escape. There's no way out, basically. And she was just screaming that to him, and he couldn't get to her, basically. Mana's was just her being tormented on the train and just being decimated by those guys. But this time for all of eternity. There was no way of escape this time. And she just was being tormented by them, basically. And taunted and all that stuff. As you can see, I went into a lot of detail with every single person with this, because I didn't just want to show Shido's worst nightmares. That's just, I knew that there were going to be some people asking, well, what were the other people? So this is why it took so long to write, because I went into every single person's worst nightmare, basically. On to Tenka's. Hers was going into the, being sent to the R-Ring realm, for all of eternity, and there was no way of escape and stuff, and stuff like that. Let's see. Nibblecles was just her not being able to have fun with Shido again, which was, again, very hard for her because she didn't really want to, because she wanted to do that. It was very hard for her. Okay, who haven't I done? Coterie? Coterie's was a very personal one that really, really fit with her character. Hers was having her lose control of her spirit powers and go into Ifrit mode and just kill Shido, basically. It was just really messed up for her, and she just but I mean, I really went into detail because some of these are some things that they would really, really freak out about, basically. So I had to really think about which ones seem really reasonable for this specific character. Like, Shido's was really, really, really tied to his character. Kotori's was to hers. Mia's was to hers. Mana was to her. Her character, etc. And basically, eventually, it's Weskot, basically's point of view, and he's just gloating that all of them are just in their own worst nightmare, until a surprise visitor comes in and actually helps all of them out. Raven, she's actually in this like, spirit form, and tells Slade, don't listen to this nightmare. It's only an illusion. And she spreads this information to all of every one of our heroes. And eventually they learn that, hey, what they're experiencing isn't real, and it's just an illusion created by Weskot. And eventually they get enough power and hope to break the spell, basically. And of course, Weskot is just mad. He's not happy. So he sent another. Sorry, my tongue twisted there. So he sends another dark wave towards them, basically wanting to trap them into another nightmare. And unfortunately, this time the attack/wave doesn't work. Their power of hope and just winning, wanting to win is so strong that it just breaks the spell automatically. And this is when all of them charge up their most powerful attacks with Raven's help, as she chants 3 words: Azareth, Metreon, Zinthos. And she just adds her own power to their blast and strengthens it tenfold, and basically sends that white wave with everyone else's attack towards Dark Weskot, defeating Weskot once and for all, basically. And it was just a really, really good fanfic for the final chapter of this, and I really wanted to go into as much detail as possible with all of with just about everything, basically. So yeah, eventually Raven just hugs Slade and disappears, and basically all of them just celebrate. They go back to Shido's house, I think, and they just all celebrate, basically. Saving the world. They saved the world, they beat Weskot and all that. But yeah, that ends the fanfic, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this fanfic. And yeah, that one was like the one that I really put a lot of soul and passion into, the final chapter and stuff. It was the final battle, so I really didn't want to go into the same trap that a lot of other people go into with their games and shows sometimes, because it only really goes into one person's perspective with what their worst nightmare was. And a lot of people get mad about that, so I didn't want to fall into that trap. So I hope you understand why it took so long to write. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, until next time, guys, peace out.